Hi, I'm so sorry I'm late. I was talking to Dean on the phone and I lost track of time. Um, Hold on, let me turn my light on. Roger, Roger. I was sitting outside and it's so nice out right now. We've dropped back into the 80s, the high 80s. It was 89 yesterday. It's 89 today. After 104 and 108. Oh, so nice to be back into comfortable, warm weather. Oh, thank you for sending me a donation. Um, I really appreciate that. Is Randy there with you watching? Okay, Tammy, you're the only one in the room right now. Oh, I feel bad that I'm late though. I called him, it was like 2:20, so we've been on the phone longer. We were just chit-chatting away. I said, why don't you come and read with me today? And him and Katie, his daughter Katie, is leaving tomorrow for college, so she's doing all her last minute packing. And he's just trying to spend that last day with her before she leaves. So, hey Viviana, thanks for joining me. I'm so sorry I'm running late. So, it looks like you came in about the time I came on. So, I'm so glad you joined me. I'll let people catch up. Um, I don't have any iced tea. I left my iced tea sitting on the front porch. Um, uh, we went out last night, went dancing, we went to the Marriott, then we went to Barrel House. Oh God, the bands were phenomenal. We had some really good, you know, local bands in this area. And they're playing, of course, all the music that we grew up with. And like flashback to high school. And the second band was playing all the concert, the concerts that were touring in the mid 70s and stuff. Oh, the guy had a phenomenal voice, and just they were hitting everything like they were the real bands, and it was really enjoyable. And I got home till 10 o'clock last night, and we were gonna have a garage sale today, but I told my husband, I'm too tired this morning, and we both woke up at 5, and we were gonna start getting out and just pull. And I said, I can't do it. I'm just too tired, and so we decided, yeah, he looked pretty tired this morning, even though we were up early. So we didn't do it, and I told him to go down the city and tell him that we need to have our permit reissued on another date because we didn't have the garage sale. But we've got tons of stuff, and we've got a lot of stuff in the garage. I have a desk and stuff. I've disassembled the tops off them and stuff. I need to reassemble them, so that when we put it out, people can see what they're buying. And I just wish I had a place to put it in my new house because it's an L-shaped unit, and it's got all the wiring that's built into the desktop. So you just plug everything in to the desktop. It's a really nice desk. My next door neighbor gave it to me. It was in his house, and he didn't have room to take it with him, and didn't have any place to put it in his new house. And they moved to Utah, and he gave me a 72-inch flat screen TV that was in his garage that he forgot to mount and put on the truck. And he goes, "Oh, you can have it." And he went to get me the remote, but the remote got sent to Utah, and he never sent it to me. So I got to buy a new remote for it. So I've got my smaller big screen TV, and I've got his. And I was thinking about maybe selling one of them, but I think I'm going to put one in my room. I don't watch that much TV, and I don't sleep with the TV on, so definitely not going to put it in my husband's room because he has it running 24/7. He's got a smaller TV. He can live with the smaller one that doesn't use as much energy. But anyways, we're still trying to get out. I'm going to fly out to New Jersey to babysit Manchu because my daughter is going to a concert, and then my son-in-law has his class reunion with everybody went to law school with, and because he's an attorney, he wants to keep all those business contacts and everything. So they're gonna I'm gonna stay there with the kids while they go back to Pennsylvania and go to his reunion. So that'll be fun. Oh yeah, I'm doing a household good, household furniture sale. I'm getting rid of all the excess furniture in my living room set, a dining room set, a great big beautiful round coffee table that's oak, that's finished oak, and it's finished dark. I don't like light wood. I like that medium colored wood. So lamps. We're moving our bed frames. We're moving our dressers. We're moving our. I have two dining room tables. I have a big long table. I'm keeping the long one. I've got a round table, a pedestal table that's really nice. I'm selling that. In fact, I think I have those sold. Our next door neighbor's sister has just moved out on her own, and she's furnishing her own house. So, and she doesn't have a lot of money, and I'll definitely be more than happy to sell them to her and give her a good price on them, because we all know what it's like to start over. But we're getting rid of our mattress, things that are bulky that are, I'm selling. I have a stove from my old house that it was brand new. I'd had it 2 years, and it's a really nice 6-burner stove with the elongated griddle burner in the center. I would love to keep it, but I don't have any place to put it right now. And the house I'm moving into, they're putting gas lines in, but hey, Tony, but I'll buy a new stove when we remodel the kitchen, because I want to add an island bar and put my stove in the island. So we're gonna do that once they get the gas lines through, and I'll go back to gas, because I haven't cooked on electricity since I was in college, like in my 20s. And our house had electric stove, and I wouldn't even know how to cook on an electric stove now. So it's gonna be a learning experience of burning things. I like gas because you can control it. And it's a lot cheaper. And if your electricity goes out, you still got a gas oven to keep the house warm. Anyways, so we're still packing. I can't believe how much stuff we've accumulated in 20 years we've been together. But yeah, I'm slowly but surely getting rid of it. I'm trying to get rid of a ton of stuff. So like I packed all my winter clothes down, but it's California winter clothes. I need East Coast winter clothes. So I went back through and got rid of stuff that I don't wear that often, and it's not that warm. It's California winter weight, and so I threw that all in the Goodwill bag and stuff. And I thought, I deserve a few new clothes, and I love heavy winter sweaters. So I'm looking forward to having that. Having to buy a few of those. I know they're expensive, but you build over time. Anyways, I'm going to do a reading for the collective, and then we'll go on. I'm feeling good. I've been having pancreatic problems off and on. Hey, Snowa. But I've been getting them under control pretty quick, so they're not taking me down or getting me to the point I need to go to the hospital. So that's wonderful. What did Snowa say? Yeah, different people have been complaining about their internet's not connecting right. I don't know what it is. I think it's just region from region. Everybody's having a few problems. Okay, so for the collective, and we'll allow people to finish getting into the room. Let's see what the energy is like. I haven't been watching a whole lot of news. I watched a little bit, so I'm not really keeping up with the politics right now. I'm sort of politically burnt out. I do feel like something's going to happen to Trump this month. Thank you. You did hear me. Thank you. Thank you. Would you take Buddy with you? You can shut the door so he doesn't come back in here.
I can't shut the door.
Why not? Oh. Because I didn't bring the trash can back in. Thank you. I emptied my office trash can. I just set it at the front of the door. Okay. The underlying card for the reading for the collective is the Magician. So we need to put out their intuition, what we're wanting our country to look like, and start putting that energy out there, of, when there is a change in the, what it is that we want, the changes that we're wanting to see come forward. Put that out there in fruition. As a collective, I think we all have a lot of the same ideas of how we're wanting change to appear. Just put out there what your hopes and wishes and dreams are. We'll all collate somehow. It'll all blend together. We have justice. I think, justice is coming. This may be karmic justice. I don't know. But I do see, I'm seeing Trump is going to fall soon. And my guides have been telling me 8-9. So I'm hearing, and I started getting this vision about 2 years ago. And I'm thinking in the months of 8 and 9. So and when I meditated on it, I always get a vision of him being at a podium speaking, collapsing and falling down to the ground, and them having to gurney him off, because I keep seeing him having like a major, major stroke. But it doesn't kill him, but it does take him out of office, because he loses his voice, he loses his mobility, his speech. He doesn't recover well from it. It's going to make a bad stroke. So we'll see if I'm right. I don't know. The vision is always exactly the same scene. He's got blue draping behind him, and you can see American flags around him. And he's at a wooden podium, and he just sort of, does a slurry propaganda thing, and just sort of looks like he falls asleep, and then he collapses. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't wish anybody's death or demise, but I think for the good of the people, I think karma will kick in at some point. I never have seen him finishing his term. So we'll see. Also, in the underlying reading after the Justice card, we get the Page of Sword. This is the messenger of new truths coming out. So that's an interesting card, and I think a lot is coming forward right now. So we're just, we're on that tick-tock clock of when it happens, it happens. We know the inevitable of life is one thing you are guaranteed in life is death at some point. We all are born, we live our lives, and we end when we're supposed to. So, and it's either death or it could be medical problems like some of us have. Coming into the reading, we get the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm seeing we're on a karmic track right now as a nation. This is all occurred for a reason. Good, bad, and the ugly. This is a wake-up call to everybody. It's an awakening period. It's awakening of our past into our present and where our future is going. This is a lesson, the one thing promise that Trump made as president round one was he was going to drain the swamp. It's not quite what he meant, but he has drained the swamp. He has exposed all the swamp creatures, all the, the corruption and the problems that are coming out that have evolved in our government, etc., etc. He has drained that swamp. That's the one promise he did keep. The rest, hot air and destruction. But I don't think it's such a bad thing that he drained the swamp and exposed us, because it's time that we wake up to how our country's running, the corruption, the inequality, and beyond, because he's taken it far beyond. And let's, it's going to give us an opportunity to recreate our government, recreate how we want to live as a people. It's going to take, once he's out of office, I'd like to say, boom, we wave our magic wand and everything turns back to what it was. It's never going to be what it was. It's going to take us 10, 12 years to reestablish ourselves within the world, even as a country, trade agreements and all that. It's going to take a while. We've got some hard times coming forward. He's created an economic disaster for us. We will survive this, but it is not going to be anything short of hard. And we're going to work hard to achieve what we want. But I believe that we will have a say in how we move forward, because I think we're going to have our voices as voters and selecting the government. I think there's going to be a lot of change in our government over time. So, we have that to look forward to. We aren't going to return to all the BS that's going on in this government. I said the two things that we're having problems with is the Constitution and the Ten Commandments. And Trump thinks both of those documents are weighed equally. They're there for him to break. And I think he lived his life as the Ten Commandments were a checklist of things he could disrupt and break. And then he became president, and he's systematically going through our Constitution and going, it doesn't apply to me because I'm the king. So the voters that voted for him got what they paid for, and they're paying the price. That's for sure. I do believe that Social Security, which is the hot topic in people of my generation and above, and people that are starting to think about retirement, those approaching retirement, it will get fixed. It's going to take a while to get good solutions, but I think they're going to raise the cap on that is $184,000 a year above doesn't pay into Social Security. I think they're going to remove that, and along with raising corporate tax, they're going to make people above that benchmark contributing to the Social Security, because that was designed to be the safety net for people that are aging up, so that we don't end up impoverished with nothing, things like that. And I consider myself very lucky, because I worked and I had a job that I got a really good pension out of. I don't know how to survive if all I had was what I was getting from Social Security. But there are a lot of people that are living on just Social Security. So the thought of, in 72 checks, us taking a 23% cut, live on 25% of loss of your income. Basically, a 23% cut is a 25% cut. And yet your Medicare contributions and stuff that's taken out of your Social Security are going up further and further, which is taking an even bigger cut of your check. And the 2.9% increase that we get on that COLA every month, that's based on people that are working cost of living, not what seniors live on as a cost of living, because how we use our money is not the same way as people that are raising a family and buying clothing and Christmas and all that. If you're living on a really tight fixed income, and a lot of you guys can understand exactly what I'm talking about, you're paying for your rent, your utilities, gas in your car, and your medical insurance and doctor's fees, prescription drugs, and you don't have a lot left after that for groceries. And you're juggling to cover all of those expenses with rising prices and rising rents and stuff like that, going up 25, utilities going up 25 to 35%. 2.9 isn't anything that's helping you out. It's not raising your cost of living, it's just making you poorer. And a lot of us are struggling on that. If you're fortunate enough to own your home and things like that, and it's paid off, that helps a lot, because then all you've got is your property tax, and there you get exemptions from or reductions in that when you're a senior, depending on where you live and your tax structure. But it's a tough ride when we hit, we've aged out. If we don't, we haven't had the great incomes to invest in this, to all kinds of stock markets and stuff like that. So it becomes very difficult. And so those of you that are planning for retirement, keep that in mind when you're heading that direction. If you don't have the pension, you may want to, if you're capable of working a little longer, may want to hold out working a little longer. And if you work till you're 70 and you have to be 67 to retire for your full benefits, but you take a 30% reduction in your benefits if you go out at 62, can you afford that reduction? Or can you still, you could retire from your job you have and take up another career that you're still contributing in, and not draw on your Social Security, because every year after 67 is an 8% increase in your benefit, and you can top up here, so if you can wait to draw till you're 70, unless there's some reason you can't, I encourage it. I encourage everybody that's heading towards retirement and all that to consider checking out Dr. Ed Weir. It's Weir. He is a Social Security specialist that runs a YouTube channel, and he also has online teaching about the ins and outs of Social Security and different eligibilities and stuff. Even if you're already drawing and you have questions about it, catch his live streams. He does Q&As. You can submit video questions to him. You can actually send him questions. He can answer everything. He's the manager of one of the largest Social Security offices in the nation, and he knows his stuff. And he is a really great resource. So I really encourage you to look him up on YouTube, and check out his website, which I can't remember what it's called right now. Something.gov. I don't know. And then he also sponsors the Medicare insurance platform called Chapter, which I know other people are talking about now. And he has a link to contact Chapter to help out. And they'll go through all the different Advantage plans and supplemental plans and help you find the best Medicare coverage that you can afford and that you need if you're healthy, or if you're like me and not healthy. And they can also discuss the different changes, because there's a lot of changes coming to what's going to be provided in Advantage plans and Medicare and stuff like that, because Trump's hell bent on destroying our health coverage too. So that's always a good thing. Some people tell me they think he's a little monotone. I don't think he is. He is a vast knowledge of information. But he talks about things like the widow's benefits and survivor benefits, and if you're disabled and you have children at home, how to get benefits to help cover your growing children. They're eligible for benefits if you're disabled, things like that. Just pure information. And he's also following all the actual changes, and all the misinformation that's getting reported out by those AI videos telling you, oh, the stimulus check is coming to all the seniors. It's not. They have, when every time I see that type of announcement, I look to see if there's been any bills written to approve that. There's not. I just go, ask Siri on my phone to give me any new legal changes, legislative changes, or bills regards to Social Security, and boom, there's nothing. No changes, no stimulus, no nothing. So don't believe the AI BS stuff that gets leaked out there, or you have to do something by a certain date. Yeah, the only way to advertise that without sending notices to people isn't via YouTube. I don't think that would be considered proper notice. If you have a deadline to complete something from Social Security without getting notified in writing from them. So, in the center of the reading is the star card. So, just like we started out, the underlying card of the reading is the Magician. The star is where we put our hopes, wishes, and dreams out to the universe of how we want change to occur. So we want to get our prayers out there, get that information out there to our guides of how we need to see the United States change and our society change. And you can be, don't be negative. Don't say we don't want. You want to say everything in the positive. We'd like to see socialized medicine. We'd like to see equalized wages. Environmental changes happening to save our world, our earth. The new administration embracing clean energy and making programs available for everybody to connect to it. Which we were doing this, them coming in and paying for solar panels and stuff like that. It's fantastic that we can put that kind of stuff in. I am sure going to look into it when I get moved, because the area I'm moving to doesn't have it, and they're not sure that their buildings are strong enough for it. Well, I'm moving into a snowy area. If you can take 2-3 feet of snow on top of a roof, it can hold the solar panels. They're not that heavy. You can pick them. I can pick them up. They're really lightweight. I could actually probably manage to get up a ladder with a panel, if I didn't have to worry about falling off the ladder because of my balance. But anyways, the stars is crossed by the 10 of Pentacles. So I do see this as being a sign that not only do we putting out there in fruition the changes that will be coming up soon for the United States and the change of the administration and all that, but more financial security. And I realize it's going to take time. We are going to continue to be in a bit of a recession for a while, but I don't think we're going to be totally impoverished. I think we will have money and stability. And as we grow our nation and make the changes and clean up the mess behind us, you'll find that the infrastructure gets better, the wages start going up. We all will still be financially secure. So we get the 10 of Pentacles there, which I feel like is really positive for us. Yeah, it's going to be tight, hard, and financially straining, but we're going to get through this. Above us, we have the 10 of Wands. This is some of that infighting that will be happening as they're making changes in Congress and Senate. I do see the Democrats taking over both the House and the Senate. So there will be change, but there will be a lot of negotiating and infighting about how they want to go about doing it. The plus side is we need, when those changes get made, or even now, we need to be in contact with our representatives, let them know what we're wanting, what changes they're giving them ideas of how we see their solutions, because they read enough good ideas, they will integrate those things into policy. So we need to bombard them with things that we need them to be looking at, because they've got a whole pile of crap to clean up, and part of it is they're going to have to start someplace, and it may not be the place we want them to start, but they've got to start somewhere, and they will work on multiple different things. I see all these different committees coming together and breaking out, trying to clean up a lot of it, and of course, clean up a lot of these crazy executive orders he signed out through the years. All that, but it will get done. There's so much to do that it's going to take a number of years to muddle through the sludge. Underneath, we've got that Page of Wands. This is that fire energy. This is that wand that's telling us we need to stand in our fire energy and our creativity and our knowledge, and we need to take action as we're moving forward in these newer times as things evolve. The energy going out to the future, we need to be that Knight of Swords. We need to march and stand in truth, hold those from the past accountable for their actions. I do see a lot of trials and convictions. Not everybody's going to get caught up in the net of going to jail for everything they've done, but there will be groups of people that will be seeing some courtrooms that are in that tight circle of Trump. as he leaves office and stuff, they will get caught up in that nest investigation, things like that. They'll go on to for years. Hopefully they won't bombard us with nonstop televised versions of everybody that's getting prosecuted, just blips in the. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get sick about hearing it. Give us the highlights and don't let Trumpism go on for another 10 years of prosecutions in the public eye is the way I look at it. Where we're standing right now, as a collective, the energy we're standing in, is we're standing in the Two of Wands. We see options coming towards us. We're looking out over the ocean. We're looking at all the different options coming from our shore to abroad of rebuilding relationships and energy. And we're all looking very forward to this as reuniting with the rest of the world, who's knows that the problem is not Americans, it's our government, it's our leadership. And I think they will be very supportive of us as we start fixing our economy. How we're feeling emotionally as a nation is we are the Four of Wands. We have a good foundation as a people, and that's what we're wanting to get back to is our original foundation where we're running our country for the people of our nation, not just for the wealthy of our nation. And this is what this card is representing to me. We all know as we go in, the advice from Spirit is know that we have a lot of hard work going forward, but we will work diligently and hard to get changes made in our society and back to a more stable society. You know, this is a world reset on how our world is functioning, and everybody will be working hard to get through these times, to fix a lot of the problems, to get more stability in our energy use, our environment, the way we live, working together as a nation, building educational programs that are bettering people and allowing them to work as technology develops. I'm not a big fan of AI because I think there's going to be a lot of abuse in it before it becomes a tool for the good. Because the greed and avarice out there, they've got to, just like any new technology we discover, they try to weaponize it first before it becomes used in more of the purpose it was meant for. I think AI is the same thing. They're first going to use it as a gathering information to spy and collect data and all that, and it's going to be hard for society, and eventually they'll turn and restrict it and control the changes of it, and it will be used for better good rather than for greed and avarice. But it will take time for that to develop. They've got to make everything a weapon before it becomes useful to society. But it will evolve, and I think it will get regulated very quickly. Getting environmental regulations. Right now they're having hearings on Bitcoin and everything that Trump's trying to push through to make it literally untraceable, untaxable, and unaccounted for, and the fact that it's used worldwide for the most criminalized trades and corruption out there. And that's they're talking about how they're going to regulate it and things like that, and so that's something they're currently working on. I think they need to, because I think he's used it as a Ponzi scheme to literally rip people off. You don't have Bitcoin, you sell shares of it, people invest $10,000, it drops down to having no value, but he walks away with 2 point something billion in his pocket in profit. That seems like a grift to me. The final card of this reading is the Emperor. And I think this is what it's all about, is what this Emperor is doing at this point in time. And that there is going to be some finality of it. I'm not seeing this as a positive Emperor. I see this as the whole reading's about the possible fall of the Emperor. But I'm going to throw couple of cards to clarify what this emperor at the final reading is telling us. Oh, Ten of Swords. See, Antonia, it's the fall of our emperor. It's not the power of our inwards. It's about as still with the Seven of Swords, the thief in the night. And it's about the hidden secrets. Boy, weren't those interesting cards coming out. I just pulled them right off the top of the deck. So yeah, this is the fall of our interest. The secrets coming out about the still and about the restrictions he's put on America, everything he's brought forward. So anyways, that's it. That was interesting. I'm glad I pulled the clarifiers on what this Emperor card was representing. Can't make it up. And I certainly don't have the time to go, hey, this is how I'm going to read this deck and stack my deck. Because, God, that would take a long time to figure out which cards am I going to pull to tell the story, right? So anyhow, that's where we're at as a collective right now. We're just sort of, and I'm hearing a lot of the psychics, keep on saying something's going to happen on August 22nd. I don't know why we've all pulled that number out of the sky. I feel like, yeah, and we're in eclipse season. We just went through a solar eclipse. Now we're moving into a lunar eclipse season. I can't remember if it's on the 22nd or the 28th. It's sometime towards the end of the month anyways. But that energy, it shadows in and it shadows out, just like Mercury retrograde. Before it comes, we start feeling the effects of it going in, and then as it's coming out, there's that shadow period that we're always facing. So, and that's the same thing with the eclipse. That energy comes and goes before it actually occurs. That's when it intensifies. But we're already starting to see that energy falter. And because I haven't been watching the news a lot, sometimes I just skim through the captions on my phone, read the headlines. But Trump looks like hell warmed over. I mean, some of the pictures of him where they've got him natural, where he hasn't been, the photoshopped his images and stuff like that. He's really looking rough. And I've noticed that every time they show him in public, he's walking around with basically his eyes barely opened. It's like he can't keep his eyes open. He can't keep alert. This is a man that's dying before the public, live on TV. And it's just a matter of time before his health catches up with him. So. And I haven't seen that movie, Snowwalk, the Apple Annie character that Betty Davis played in the 1961 movie, Pocket Full of Miracles. If you have a smart TV, hit it, and I have a Fire TV that has a mic on it, and I can ask it to pull up a movie, and it'll tell me if it's what channel it's on, and if I have to pay for it, or and usually the older movies, if they're not playing on one of the channels, usually it only costs $1 or $2 to watch. I don't buy very many movies because $1 or $2 is not in my budget right now while I'm trying to get moved. But anyways, I'm doing like everybody else, living paycheck to paycheck. And my husband has been going down, and once a month the Baptist church down here has a food giveaway that it's just donations from all the local farms. And I live in the vegetable garden of the U.S., the breadbasket of the U.S. They grow everything in California. So it is donations. And this week, and you tell them what size your family is, and then they give you based on how many people are in your household, and you can pick up for up to 2 households. Of course, we don't do that. We're not 2 households. We're just 2 people. But he brought, and they give you so much that I uploaded it in my garage, sat it out on the table, and I got in California, we have to buy our grocery sacks if we bag our groceries. So I have a whole box full of heavy duty Target bags. So I made a bunch of bags up for all the neighbors because there's way too much food. We got poblano peppers. We got a whole case of, well, not a case. It was like 6 big bags of red peppers. I've got red peppers. And I love red peppers. Um, I eat red peppers, but I got like 5 bags of pears and the best melons. It was a half a dozen. They're called kiss melons. They're a cross between a honeydew and a cantaloupe. And oh my gosh, they smell so good. They were so ripe. They're just turning ripe. They're just at that perfect point to cut. And oh, they were good. They tasted on the cantaloupe side, but the flesh looks like a honeydew. But they're really sweet, and a really good type of sweet, not sugary gobby. They have a beautiful, this sugary flavor to them. Oh, they were yummy. I cut one up, and we ate half of one between my husband and I for lunch with some sandwiches. Oh, they were good. But I gave there. I don't know how many there must have been more than 6 because I gave them to all the neighbors around us and my best friend. I made her a whole Target bag full of stuff. Let's see what else was in there. There was poblanos, red peppers. Oh, romaine lettuce. And I checked with my local grocers and also my doctor. They haven't had any E. coli type, whatever, the outbreak from the lettuce in our area. It's all local grown. It's not coming out of Mexico. It's not coming from the Midwest. It's grown in California. So we haven't had any of that problem with our lettuce products here. But we had the bags of the 3 romaine heads, and I think there was a dozen of them. So I gave, everybody, I can't eat that much lettuce. I kept a couple because we do eat lettuce, both on sandwiches, and I can make some nice Caesar salads or whatever with them, and do some chicken with it to make them tasty. But so, and then we got, what else was in there? Pears, melons. Oh, a whole box full of those scallions, green onions, but they're the ones with the big bulbs on them rather than the nice tapered ones. Oh, they're strong. I mean, I walked out in the garage because I had the box in the garage last night, and all I could smell when I opened the garage door was onions. That's strong. But I'm going to cut a bunch of the bulbs off, and I think I'm gonna make a pot roast because I think Roger picked one up and he was grocery shopping. I think he found one on sale for half price. So I'll throw those in whole. They're bigger than pearl onions, but or maybe I'll split them in half, or just kind of like regular onion. But that'll make a nice, base in a pot roast. But and I don't eat beef, so he'll have pot roast, and then I'll chop up some of it, make some beef and barley or some stroganoff or something that where I can eat it, and it's chopped up fine. But that'd be good. Stroganoff. Love stroganoff. I think I have everything to make it too. I have to run and buy a thing of mushrooms because stroganoff without mushrooms isn't stroganoff. But yeah. So if we're gonna if we're gonna take advantage of needing to get the food boxes, if they're giving me an abundance, I certainly, and I'm not gonna let it go rot and waste it. So I've distributed it to all my neighbors, and friends, so that it gets used up, so everybody gets a benefit from it, because isn't that what it's about anyways? And saves everybody a little bit of money because groceries have gone through the roof, especially produce in our area. We grow it here, but it is outrageously expensive. And I'm a vegetarian, so I know it's outrageously expensive because my grocery bill has gone up 35% in the last year. I used to be able to grocery shop for 150. Sometimes, if I'm having one of those restock months, 200. My grocery bill is not unusual for it to hit close to 300 now for 2 of us for an entire month. That's so ridiculous. And we do not eat like kings. I cook. I can make it at home. I can make anything we've ever had eating out at home myself. And if you need help learning to cook and you've gone to a restaurant and you've had something, check Pinterest. There's recipes for everything on Pinterest for free. and have a step-by-step video instructions, a lot of them, of how to make it. So if you don't know how to cook, that's a great place to learn to cook. But I do like to cook, and right now I'm cooking, capital things and stuff like that up because I'm getting ready to leave town, and I do not want my husband eating out at all because it's so expensive, and you can blow through money that is not in our budget to eat that way. So I'm going to pick up just the things for him. I've been making uh, casseroles in 4 to 6 serving sizes that for family, and breaking them down. I've got all the metal tins and foil and stuff to wrap him up in, and then all he has to do is I write the instructions on the foil, and he can stick them in the convection oven because we don't have a microwave. He can stick them in the oven or the convection oven with the instructions on the package, heat them up, and he's got a fresh meal. He's spoiled, but it'll save our budget a lot of money while I'm out of town. And so I'm in the process of doing that right now. I got everything to make a bunch of spaghetti sauce up, which I'll turn into several casseroles because when I make spaghetti sauce, I make big things of it. One, I'm going to just I've got the storage containers just to freeze some spaghetti sauce where he can let it thaw, warm it up on the stove, and cook some fresh spaghetti and just have spaghetti. But I'm also going to throw together a couple of mini lasagnas in those pans. I make them, and I make 2 servings in the pans that I have. Wrap them up foil and stick them in the freezer, and he can do it just like you buy a frozen lasagna at the grocery store. You freeze them, you pull them out, you stick them in. You can stick them in the oven frozen and cook them for like 35 minutes, 45 minutes. They'll thaw out and cook all the way through. And I buy that no-bake lasagna noodles to make them. So the noodles will cook in the sauce in the oven, and he likes those. So, and I like those. Usually I'll make a big batch of them. I'll make 6 or 7 of them because I don't want to cook every night. It's nice to just go grab something easy out of the freezer and pop it in the oven, and it tastes like I cooked that night. So I do a lot of that kind of stuff, especially if I know I'm gonna go out. And of course, I try to keep it done during the cold and flu seasons because I never know. I have a tendency to end up in the hospital in October, November definitely. Right at that time of year, if I get sick, that's the time of year I always get sick. So I always like to sort of have things prepared for that stuff. But anyways, that's some of the way I save money when we're having periods of disaster or I'm going someplace. And I do it just for convenience. It's just as easy to cook for several nights and freeze it. Even if you just have a refrigerator freezer, you can cook ahead and packages up ready to go really easily. So let's get on to personal readings because I'm a jabberjaws today. What's new, right? So first in the room was Tammy. Tammy, it's so nice to see you. And I saw that you sent me some messages. I hadn't got to them. I've been so busy around the house trying to get stuff done. I just can't believe how much we've accumulated over 20 years together. And when you're moving long distances, I can't afford to get a semi truck to move my stuff, and I'm not moving into a house the size I'm in now. So we're really downsizing, and we're getting rid of a lot of just stuff we've accumulated, and it's crazy. So I didn't look. Somebody sent me a donation. I think that was Tammy. Who was it? I don't see any. Oh, yeah, there it is. It was Tammy. Tammy, did you have a specific question? I'll run through my list and see if you put it in there. Sent from you and Randy. Did you and Randy have a question? And told my husband when we move and we replace the couch, I just want a couch. I don't want a big coffee table in the middle of the room to trip over all the time. And I want my house to be very minimal, easy to clean. I don't want tons of knickknack and things like it, things that collect dust. I have a few items that that are just keepsake stuff, but I don't want a cluster of all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Vivian, for posting my PayPal. Okay, I'm going to do a general reading for you, Tammy and Randy, and I'm going to combine your energy together to do it. So this one's for the both of you. Cat's knocked off my Namaste deck onto the floor. They're scattered all over the place. Just noticed the box was empty and tipped over. I gotta remember to keep my bedroom door shut. I've been in and out of this room. I need to just sit in here one day and just get it finished. I got a reversal, but I'm going to read this reversal for you because wait, I normally don't read reversals, but you're gonna have a reversal. Well, I got two reversals. I'll read them both because they've turned into positives. The underlying card of the reading is the Ace of Pentacles, abundance, security. So, I think together as a couple, you have abundance and security together. I see this going for a long time. This is not a short lived relationship. You've got the right man in your life. You get the Spirit of Pentacles. That's that messenger of Pentacles coming out and telling you everything's going to be fine between you. You're there for each other. You're supportive of each other. You're financially secure together. And I know you're not living together. You're still living in separate things. I do see at some point in time, you do decide to both combine your households at some point in time. I get the Emperor card. This is your strength, your faith, and your belief that you are in the right relationship. You have come together. Here is the lion and the lioness, and the cross of faith, your strength. So my guys are saying yes. This is a good sound relationship you're in. You work together. You get the Knight of Wands, that charging for it. I know Randy is a workaholic. He does nothing but work and work and work. And you worry about him overworking sometimes, but he's that type of man that just functions in that energy. But he's there for you still. And if you're missing him, you can always run down to the shop and see him. Yeah, you're on your life path together. You guys were meant to be. You've refound each other. You've known each other for years, years and years, and you have found each other. And sometimes we don't walk into our fate when we meet. We wait till we get older to reunite when we're strong and we've developed and we have evolved through our lessons. That's when it's right for us to come together. And I see that's where you are. I love it. Not only do you get the Wheel of Fortune, but the first card into your reading is the World card. You're ascending together as a couple. Yes, you're on the right track. You're going in the right direction. I mean, isn't these beautiful cards? These are what you want to show up in a relationship. I get the Three of Swords, but the Three of Swords in reverse. This is not heartbreak. This is mending of the hearts. This is a reversal. So this is, you guys have had your past, your tributes, your lessons, your relationships, etc. But now you've found each other and you're learning to love again and trust again. And your hearts are mending. So I love this. Yes, there's obstacles in the way. There's obstacles in the way of every couple, but what obstacles are coming across your path are minimal, because I get that Nine of Wands. You're moving forward, charging forward, getting out there in the ocean, starting that new life together. That seagull looks like a threat, but he's not going to catch any of you. Running out to that water for that new life. So you are in the clear. These are just illusional obstacles that are normal in life, the ups and downs that we go through, but you're sticking together. Both of you were out there seeking each other, seeking that new relationship, and you get the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is moving from rough waters into calmer waters. Yes, that is what you're doing. So I love the way these cards are reading. It's a beautiful story. So, all this time, this prior life's lessons and everything you've gone through, both have gone through in your life. You have met together and you're moving into those calmer waters. I see this moving into a forever after, you have found your match, you've matured, you both are looking for the long haul. Depression, sadness, etc. comes out with the Five of Cups, but it's reversed. This is bringing you out of all that struggle, the things that used to make you worry and to be depressed and sad about. You're both pulling out of that negative energy and you're both really happy. Now, when you shed tears, you said tears of joy, not tears of sadness. Rain, of course, always reminds me of tears, that cleansing, that fresh, that refreshing our body as we're recovering from trauma. But you're both out of that position now. This is the tears of joyness, the happiness, not depression. You're coming out of that. You're enjoying life as a couple. So I love these cards that came out for you and Randy, Tammy. I have not read a combine like that before for anybody. So blessings to you and Randy. I know he's a great man for you. Just go with the flow and allow your life to evolve together to what it's supposed to be. I do see at some point in time you guys will decide to combine households. I know you're not in a big rush. You like your independence, etc. But I see long-term happiness for you. So blessings to you. And I gotta go down and read the chat. Pull that here. I was there earlier. Well, you can always replay it for him. Hey, Brenda. Glad to see you in the room. Love the crazy cards for you. Yeah, I love the cards. Yeah, you guys are crazy, man. Want to. You so deserve it. Anyways, Viviana is next. And thank you, Viviana. Tammy, Viviana, my moderators. Although I don't get a lot of trolls, I have not had a troll in a long time, which is sort of nice. I always get tickled to death when I get one, because that means somebody out there is bothered by me. I don't know. I find it amusing if I get a troll in here. But thank you for being my moderators, posting my channel information. You can also post Brenda Tarot's channel information if you have it available. She's here in the room, and absolutely love and adore Brenda, and I love working with her. Let's do a reading for Viviana. And my son-in-law's got his law reunion in Pittsburgh. I can't think of the college, Dartmouth or whatever it's called, Duquesne. That's where I went to law school. They're having their class reunion, so that's why I'm flying out to Jersey is to babysit, so they can go to the class reunion. They're planning on spending a couple of days over there and catching up with some friends. And they need to get away from the family of 4 children. And I love my grandchildren, so I'm looking really forward to doing that. And they're going to be in Philly for the Ed Sheeran concert. I think that's his name. I'd love to go with concert with them, but they've got a big date night planned. They're going to get a hotel room, stay overnight, the whole 9 yards. Something they never get to do. With him working long hours as an attorney and my daughter raising 4 children, and they're both nonstop, so it'll be nice for them to get out, and my pleasure to come out and be forced to babysit my grandchildren. It's not babysitting, it's being a grandma. That's why she was on a couple weeks ago online and saying, when is my mother going to relocate from the West Coast to the East Coast? And a lot of you guys gave her a little bit of hell for being a little bit snarky. So thank you for that. I guess my son-in-law was just cheering her out. Don't embarrass your mother. I selected him, I'm sure. I love my son-in-law. She couldn't believe he was defending me. I said, I can, because I actually get along with him, Crystal. She doesn't get along with his in-law. He doesn't get along with his parents, so, she didn't get the best of in-laws, that's for sure. But so it always throws her that Brian and I get along so well. Anyway, so it was fun, and she rarely comes in the room, and I would think I would get nervous and stuff because she doesn't come in the room, or she didn't throw me or anything, so that was interesting. So, for Viviana, we got 2 cards in the center. Okay. Oh, I like these cards. The underlying card of the reading is the 5 of Wands. So you got a little inner my guys are saying this is something you're pondering in your head. It's a little mental infighting of some kind of decision you want to make. I don't know if you're thinking about changing jobs or changing homes. I think it's work related. I think you like what you're doing, but is there something better out there? Don't fight with yourself. Update your resume. If you're even considering it, put some feelers out, put in applications of change of careers that you think you would like to move towards, or job openings within the organization you're working in. If it's meant to be, it's going to come through. Let's see what the cards have to say about change of employment. Nothing's wrong with looking. But if you're looking, I don't feel like you're moving. I don't feel like you're in the point you are wanting to move. Do you have new love in your life, or you may have new love coming towards you? And my God says, yes, this is love. This is a man coming towards you. It's the masculine. And my deck has two lovers cards. This is a masculine. So, there may be a man, or this could be a partnership, somebody that you're working with. But I feel like this is a love interest coming towards you. Whatever the change is, prosperity with the 10 of Pentacles. And some good cards. So, and followed by abundance with the Ace of Swords, so, or the Ace of Pentacles. So, if you are changing jobs, get those applications out there. This could be a promotion, not only a rise in financial stability, but also a promotional level of change in your career. That's going to bring you, more learning, more growth, more potential for income, and everything like that. Coming into the reading, we get this Hierophant. This is your faith. This is your faith in your higher powers, your spirits, in your connection with the higher power, the divine God. If whatever, I'm not going to imply any kind of religious beliefs in on you, but whatever your religious beliefs of the divine energy, something that's bigger than ourselves, that one source. Um, this is your faith, your trust, and you listen to your angels. You listen to your guides as they're directing you, even if you're not aware of it. They're moving you in the right direction. I hope you're aware of that. I hope you're communicating with your guides or connecting with that energy. That things don't happen just because. Things happen for reasons, and you're following in the path of the guidance of your guides as you're making your way through life and new decisions. This is something that has been evolving in you for quite some time. Is your awakening, your connection with spirit, your faith, your trust. And as you get older, the higher you're evolving, the more awakening you're doing, and the better your connections are with spirit. Um, this is bringing balance into your life. You don't feel like you're juggling life anymore. You're in control of what's going on. You've gotten balance. You found your center, and you're staying in your belief systems, your trust, in your faith, and your awakening and your decision making. And it's moving you in a really beautiful direction through life right now. So these choices you're making are only for your better good. Keep putting that energy out there, fruition, and always tie that into bring opportunity for my better good. Lead me in a direction that moves me into my higher self and for a better good, because you're going to get that. And why I'm seeing that, put that out there, is because you get that star card. This is that wish upon a star. They're listening. They will deliver for you. Trust and have faith in that. And you're going to be moving in beautiful directions. So I love the cards that are coming out. I love this deck because it just pulls out such amazing cards for people. So blessings to you, Viviana. And God, what great cards. So let us know how your love life's going, or somebody new has entered into your life, because it feels like it's going to be a very good thing. And you're moving right now into different directions. You're seeking new changes and advancement. So even if you've only been just tossing around your mind, dust off that resume, sharpen it up, and send a minute out there. And it's a lot easier to get a job when you're employed. So keep working at what you're doing, moving forward strongly, and put feelers out there. If you get an interview, take the time, go to the interview. If it's what you're looking for, opportunity is going to open the doors your way, and maybe several offers. You may have choices to make in which direction you're going to go. But put yourself out there, because you have opportunities definitely coming your way. This is why this deck is. I love that good energy this deck has. It's always a beautiful energy, even if it's readings, things not going so well. It's such a positive reading deck. And next on my list is Tony. I've been putting people's names up like that. Nice to see you in the room, Tony. I hope all is going well with you. You guys should tell me to throw you 5. Underlying card in the reading is the Action Cup. That's that slow moving knight, but that steady knight, bringing abundance to you. He's moving very slow. Some people call this a false knight. I don't understand why they call it the false knight. He's just a knight that's moving in his emotional energy. He's not bringing falsehood. He's bringing hope of abundance. He is a steady moving light, sort of like that Knight of Pentacles. He's that knight of that emotional energy, that thing. You get the Three of Swords. Something heartbreaking is coming forward. No, you're not in a relationship right now, so it's not that. I don't know. Something is coming towards you that is going to break your heart a little bit. My guides aren't telling your secrets. I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's something going on in the office. I feel like this is ready to work. And maybe it's just the way they're moving things around a bit. I don't think it's a true impact. It's just unease, heartbreak. It's not going the way you thought it would. But you have strength. You're going to move forward, and of course, you set a good foundation. So it's out there, still in the works. Intuition. So trust in that energy. It is causing you a bit of sleepless nights going into this reading, as we get that Nine of Swords, and you're in bed, you're having a few nightmares, a few bad dreams about this. Realize this is just going on in the background. This is you worrying. You need to take a breath, calm down. Sometimes I hate it when people tell me, just breathe. But it's time to just breathe and trust that the energy is just in a shift now. Part of its impacts on our economy and things like that. Things will be getting better, though. They're, as they're shifting things around in your world, they will restabilize because the sun's kind of coming out right behind it. So the sun is shining on you, bringing the light to you, bringing you out of that darkness and fear, and things are going to be moving. And I'm going to show you why, because that Seven of Cups is right behind that sun. This is that proposal, those ideas, everything coming to fruition. So I think as they're starting to move things around the opposites, where your heartbreak is coming from, which is what I'm picking up on, they're going to realize that your proposals are there. There's good proposals, and they're going to do some initial shifts that aren't going to work so well, and then they're going to go back to your drawing board, what you proposed out there. What's this going to bring you? That abundance. So it is in play now. It is coming in play. You've got that. The sun, your message is what you put out there and the reward. So it is coming. You put that information out of fruition, and this is reminding you, you put it out there, you put the wish upon the star. The stars are hearing you now. So let it play out. Still, it's still emotion. We talked about this when we first originally read on it, that it was in it as you know, I can read about 2 years out. So yes, it's going to take there. I got to throw some clarifiers on that star. Look at this. You get the Ace of Cups, abundance. So this is a yes card. It is in the energy now. And here it is. Oh, the inspiration of wands. It was your creativity, your thought, your knowledge, and the action you took putting it out there. And what does it get you? The Four of Wands, stability. So let's see how I love these cards. This is why I love these cards, because it tells the story. And yeah, I love the way the cards read. So blessings to you, Tony. Hold in there. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's working its final stages now, I think. So you're going to see this coming into fruition. And I know it's been a long waiting game and a lot of hard work. And you've been doing everything in the interim to continue to move forward in your career and with additional work that you volunteered for, etc. Tell me you finally got that pay on that, because I know there was something going on with that. Let me know how that worked out, and if that finally got resolved with the HR department on getting your guys' checks out for those all that work you put in. And trust in the system. It is going to work its way through. You are recognized for your hard work and your ability to achieve. The nostalgia card jumped out, said, hey, show her the nostalgia card. Remember, you got this. You put the time, the work, the effort. You enriched yourself with your degrees, etc. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. It's coming very positive. And next up is Snow. And the information. He's having problems getting on YouTube. I'm glad mine's not acting up, but I get really flustered when mine's acting up. Yeah, I tried to get Dean to come on with me, but today is the last full day that his daughter's going to be at home. Tomorrow he's taking her to college, and I told him he's a Cancer. He's going to be in tears on the way home because it's going to hit him that she's an adult now. She's off to college, and I don't know. There's something about I know when I dropped my daughter off in Santa Barbara, we moved to Santa Barbara for college. It was just tore my heart apart. And she's only 3 hours. Katie's the same way. She's only going to be a couple hours away. If he's worried about her, he could get in the car and drive and see her. And if she meets him out there, he's only a few hours away. It's not that far. I said, what he's really going to notice, the one thing I noticed when my daughter went off to college, because I'm like Dean, I only have the one child. The house was so quiet without her there. I didn't realize how much noise she made. And then I got used to that. I'd turn music on in the background or the TV on, something to create noise. So I wasn't in this house of quietness. Not that I was sitting there watching. The music's always better because you can dance along or sing along or whatever and just enjoy it in the background. But it's that too silent, and without something on. So, and a lot of us that live alone will do that, have music or the TV on in the background. It's not that we're sitting there watching it, it's just noise. It allows us to function and not feel alone. But I told him, yeah, he's gonna notice that. And then when she comes home, especially the longer she's gone, when they come home, you don't realize how much the volume suddenly explodes. One child can make so much noise because you've gotten used to that quiet and that you control the volume of everything in your house. But when your child comes home, it's noisy, it's chaotic, and you're so glad they're home, but you're looking forward to go back to school for the quiet and peace. And I don't know, it's funny, but I know for years, anytime I took my daughter to the airport, because she transferred colleges in her third year and transferred to AI in Seattle and went to college at the Art Institute of Seattle. She was studying to be a professional photographer. And so she transferred to the Art Institute in Seattle. That was hard because now she's 2,000 miles away. And it's not a jump in my car and go visit my daughter. She wasn't a 3-hour drive anymore. She was a 20-hour drive or a flight. I didn't have the money to do that and help her get through college. But, she came by, packed her room, took her belongings. Her and her boyfriend at the time moved into an apartment together. She was taking her beds and things like that. I bawled. I bawled and I bawled and I bawled. It was really hard to see her moving on in life. But she came home after she finished college, and I had met my husband at the time and I had just moved in with him, and I still was holding on to my apartment, escape route and all. Yeah, I'm that person. And so I let her live in my apartment rent free for a year because I was paying the rent anyways. It was sort of nice it not being there vacant. And I gave her a year. Oh, she was so mad at me when the end of that year came. But I said, "Oh, you decided what you're going to do with life. You've had your year off. You got to do whatever you want. It's time to move on and grow up and move forward now." Oh, she was so mad at me. She could hardly see straight because I was kicking her out onto the street. My mom said to her, well, you don't stay there every night, do you? And she goes, well, no. And she goes, well, where do you stay? She goes, well, I'm at friend's house and this place and that place and the other. She goes, but I still need a home. What if I can't crash at a friend's like I do normally? My mom looks at her and she goes, I have a sofa you can sleep on if you need a place to land. Oh, she was so mad at me. But she took the sofa up. And then about a month later, she told me, I'm moving to Vegas and there's nothing you could do about it. And I said, well, do you got a place to live? Do you got a job lined up? She goes, yeah, I've already got a job lined up. She has friends that she went to high school with living in Vegas. And one of them bought a house. So she went a third in on the rent. She'd been back and forth and had found a job and she moved to Vegas. And I think it was the best thing she did. She did a lot of growing up then. And she eventually, a couple of years later, met her husband, fell in love, got married, and life went on. And now they've been together. I think they've been together 18, 19 years and married. He's made it through 3 careers since they met. He was an RN when they met. Then he went into the service. Then he became a cop. He's been through 4 careers. Then he ended up getting a full ride scholarship into law school, did law school, got his law degrees, got his doctorate in law. He's got 3 master's degrees now. And he's off flying. Wonderful, wonderful person. My daughter really does have a wonderful husband. And he's a great father, very into family and all that. They've got it together. They waited till they were 30 before they started having children. They were old enough to be parents. So they didn't do the young, not grown up teenager having children. I did. So I think she's done a great job. They both have done a great job. So, anyways, for snow up, let's see what we're getting here. Looks like I'm dropping pretty good readings today here. Oh, I like your cards coming out. They're very positive. The underlying card of the reading is the Ten of Wands. In this deck, the Ten of Wands is an obstacle card, but it is not an obstacle that is in your way. It is one that you can get over easily. You have the means to just work right around it. There may be a big rock in the road, but you just wrapped your rope around it and you pulled it out of your way and moved on. Metaphorically, you've been feeling like the Eight of Swords, like you've been a bit bound up. But you need to just let go of that binding and let yourself free. Things are going to be moving in the right direction. So there's two small obstacle cards there, but you're working in conjunction with other people in a circle of people now, and you have reason to celebrate because you're moving in a positive light and moving forward in your energy. You've been taking action on what it is that you feel you need to be doing with this Ace of Pentacles, and you're finding financial stability. So you're working through anything that you've been struggling through. It's by taking action, things have been coming for you in the positive way. You're still waiting for your ship to come in. I know you've been looking for property with a friend of yours to invest in and relocate. I still think you're in that search and you're waiting for that to come to fruition, but it's worth the wait. You have strength, and you know that when you find it, it will be time to do it. So just keep on moving in your strength, your power, and keep on moving forward. Financial stability is coming towards you, so there is going to be some financial changes. I don't know what this is, but you get the Nine of Pentacles. So it tells me you have financial stability or financial growth in your realms. So, then we move on with the Spirit of Wands. This is that Page of Wands telling you things only happen when you take action. So you need to look at it at the direction you're going, make decisions, and take action so you can continue to move forward in a positive way. This action is going to be use of your knowledge or creativity. your strength, your power. It's that fire energy. And I know you are a fire sign, so you will move forward with a lot of strength. You're coming to an ending, but yet a new beginning because you get the death card right in the center of the reading. So things are coming to an ending that have been going on this past year in life, and you're having that period of time of rebirth. So you have major changes coming soon. I know you struggle with changes in your life, but I think these are changes for the positive. Because why I think that is so is because you have the Four of Wands. You have the strength, the foundation. It's there. And it's there with that Four of Wands, you taking action to achieve what it is your goals have been. So trust in that energy and move forward with your strength, your power, and that fire energy that you live in, because you are making breakthroughs and you've got a great foundation to move forward. You got a lot of a lot of fire energy in this reading, because the last card of the reading is that Two of Wands. I think you're not going to find one property. You may find a couple selections and opportunities coming, or this could be a new venture of some kind that's trying to. Opportunity is coming your way. You need to take actions, make a decision. It is going to be a good decision, though. So trust in the energy coming forward. And of course, being a fire sign and getting a lot of wands in your reading, that's just your forte. I do like it. It's wands mixed with pentacles. So very positive. I love it. Blessings to you, Snow Whip, and we'll get in touch with you. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you in a while because I have just been full plate, busy packing and trying to get through things, and life keeps happening. As we know, through all these years, we find out life just keeps on happening. But give me a buzz, and we'll catch up. I gotta stop and take a break from now and then. Yeah. I've been taking more and more breaks, and I'm getting old. This packing stuff is getting harder than, it's not like I'm 20 and packing. They've been done already. So much. It's just a little bit overwhelming. And I remember when my daughter was moving across country and they had to get rid of so much stuff because it gets really expensive. It's one thing to move across town and move everything you own. It's another thing when you move cross country because you really got to watch what you're moving because it can get very expensive. And so we're really, really downsizing because we're not only downsizing our home, but we need to downsize our stuff. And I think it's a time to cleanse the environment and get rid of the excess, donate it, sell it, whatever, in this transition. So, and it makes it harder to pack because then you're going through everything. What do I need to keep? What do I need to get rid of? And then going back and sometimes making second guesses to the direction and choices you've made. Okay, I am scrolling down. I need to go look at the chat because I don't have the chat running on the side. Brenda is next. My beautiful Brenda. I know she's here. I know Brenda this time of night. Brenda is doing like I do when I listen to her shows. I'm cooking dinner. I'm multitasking and listening to programs, which I think a lot of us do. I'm trying to get to the end of the new comments. And Marby's in the room. I missed Marby. I will pick Marby up. Who I haven't seen in there yet is Transom. So I will double check and somebody put it in someplace. He's in the room. If he's in the room, let me know. I'm going to start reading at the end of my reading, depending on if in the room or not. For him, he may be taking a nap or traveling out in this beautiful weather. I don't know what the weather is for Chicago right now. I know in sunny California, we have dropped into the high 80s, and it is so nice. It's like being 70 degrees after the 108 we were having last week. It is such a blessing. I got out the last 2 mornings, been up at 5, watched the sunrise, did my meditation. The air was cool and crisp, which is so refreshing after that horrible heat wave we had where we were waking up in the morning. It's already 85 outside where the sun came up because it never quite cooled off. So, welcoming this beautiful weather this week, and I think it's going to run into next week. Hopefully, we won't spike back up high into the hundreds again, maybe in the 90s, but under 90 is always much better than in the hundreds, definitely. Or Brenda, let's see what kind of cards we get. Underlying card for you, Brenda, is the Two of Pentacles. You've been juggling, but you have found your balance. Of course, I know you have your balance in life. But yeah, things are feeling really balanced right now. They're no longer up in the air, whatever's been going on, and it's balanced. Of course, life is running in a systematic synchronicity for you. Everything's just falling into place where it needs to be when it needs to be there. Of course, you're surrounded by your angels and your guides in spirit. Helping you, guiding you through this time in your life. You are the Empress. You're pregnant with all kinds of new possibilities and ideas, and you take action as that comes forward with you. And I love that energy. And yes, here's more balance, justice. See no legal problems. I see this just as balance in life. You're balancing everything and just banging it forward. You are the embodiment of wands, despite being a Pisces. That embodiment of wands is your creativity, your knowledge, that fire energy you have as you're moving through life and following your life's path. So, blessings to you on that. Opportunity and options are coming your way with this Two of Swords. This is to involve with your internal truth and strength as they present themselves. So, know that new ideas, new options are coming aboard. You're going to follow your heart, your truth, your strength as you make decisions on what kind of action, what direction you're going to go. And you know as well as I do, any decision you make is going to be a good one. Each one comes with its own lesson and its own path that you are supposed to be on. You just learn them one at a time with the opportunities that are presented to you. It is followed by the Nine of Pentacles. So whatever this opportunity with you is, it is going to bring you financial security, continued financial security in your life. You're not in this alone, though. You're doing this with partnerships with others. Maybe this is us discussing starting that Wednesday program, which will probably start after I get back from Jersey. But I've been thinking about jumping out in the middle. It's just finding the time to do it. Let's talk. Maybe we need to do 1 or 2 starter programs and get out there a little bit. I still got 4 weeks because today is the 15th, and I think I'm leaving on the 15th. So we got a month to do a couple programs if you want to get together and try it out. I dreamt about that the other night too. So yeah, we need to catch up. And followed by that, we get the Action of Cups that, like I said, I don't know why they say call this a false night. This is not a false night. This is a Knight of Cups. This is that Pisces energy night. He's emotional. He is strong. He has abundance. He's moving on a slow, steady pace, going with the flow, as we always say as Pisces. We go with that flow in life. This is a night that is taking action. He's just not doing it in a fast pace, as you can see, because I'm still packing. We're just working our way through, going with the flow. And the final card of the reading is that Ten of Swords. This is, but in my deck, the Ten of Swords is not a negative. It's more of a positive. This is the harbor that's in disarray, but you're already out to sea heading towards that light and in that beautiful energy. So know that all these choices, these opportunities coming your way are bringing you further into the light. You're drifting out at sea, moving forward in a positive way into that light, and you no longer have the turmoil of the docks in disarray. That's all behind you. So I love the energy of your cards. Your cards always have great energy. And let's connect together either this evening or tomorrow. I know it's late in the evening. We get chatting, but let's get together in the morning sometime before you jump on and touch base or after the program. Of course, if you need my help, give me a buzz. Both Marby and Trim Zone are in the room just in time, and I was going to read for you if you showed up or not. Trim Zone, I was just asking, where are you? So I hope your weather is beautiful out there in Chicago. I was just saying, I am at 89 degrees here in sunny California. Very comfortable weather. So I hope you're having beautiful weather there in Chicago right now at this time too. The windy city, but I know you guys can get some really harsh humidity out there. I hope the weather is being beautiful for you. Okay. Let me slide up it. First, we will get Marby Red. Hello, dear Marby. I hope you are having a good week. Your cards were looking really great and looking really positive last week. And I got Brenda's reading for you. We both got very similar readings for you. Good positive direction. Carrying yourself. More great cards. Okay. I put my cards around. Clarify that one. Underlying card of the reading. The deck's name. Let's see, my deck is the oneness deck. This is your connection to your divine God, power, higher power, however you refer to it in your life. This is your connection to that divine energy, though, and your guides, your spirit, your faith. I love it. Behind that is the Spirit of Cups, which is my Pisces go with the flow card. So yeah, you need to be going with the flow right now in life as it's presented itself and enjoy the ride in the tide. I love it. This letting you know you have a really strong foundation with this Four of Wands, and you know that's stability, that's knowledge, that's strength, that is your fire energy. This is you taking charge and taking action and running your own, chariot. You got the knowledge, the strength to do it. It is followed by the action of pentacles. So your finances, you're the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck, but the steady knight. And the steady knight is saying you're financially stable. It's coming in slow and steady, but everything is looking good. So trust in that. That may be a slow moving night, but you are taking actions and making things happen right now. So you're a shaker and a mover. As you're moving through this period of time, things are going quick, but it's all good. Coming into the reading, you get the inspiration of wands and more fire energy. We're getting a lot of fire energy today. Well, isn't the seer the fire horse though? So that makes sense why we would have fire energy, and us taking actions to move forward. This inspiration of wands is that nurturing, caring, creative, and bright Queen of Wands. She's letting you know you have a lot of color in your life. That's that expression of creativity. And of course, you have butterflies ascending in your colorful smoke and flames from this candle as you're You're using that fire energy, taking actions with your creativity and your knowledge as you're moving forward. So this is a very strong queen that is moving in her knowledge, her power, and her strength, moving forward, taking action, because you are starting a new journey. You get the Fool card as the next card. It is the ending of the period of time you've been struggling through with a lot of devil energy around there, a lot of conflict. You standing up and helping somebody get on their own feet on their own and not taking responsibility for carrying that, whoever that person was in your life, and now you're taking that new leap of faith. What direction is this going to take you? And you're ready to dive off that cliff into that new direction, which, trust me, is good. You're a little bit worried because it's been hard for you to cut those apron strings from whoever it is that has been around you. So you have a little stress with Five of Swords, but you're strong because there you are. You've got your cup in the middle of the barren, dried up lake bed, and there it is with life growing around your cup. Cup is always a sign of abundance and emotion. This has been an emotional ride for you, but you've made it through it. You've got life around you, and of course, you've got abundance in your life by taking your stand. Believe me, the sun is shining on you because you get the best card on the deck following that. It has been a struggle. It has been a form of you empowering yourself and trusting the decisions you make, but you have taken control of that. The light is shining on you and giving you strength. Yes, you still worry because you like to worry a little bit. You're having a few sleepless nights with the Nine of Swords, but this Nine of Swords is just a few bad dreams. Trust that you have made the right decision. I'm going to do a clarification on this card to let you know what this is about and what you need to let go of or see as the outcome of having taken control of this. Well, this is that Five of Wands. That's that infighting. That's that you being that nurturer, wanting to always help people out and do everything for them. And so you get a little bit of inner conflict, feeling a little guilty that you couldn't just give them what they needed. It's hard to tell people it's time for you to take on your own responsibilities. When we are our feelers and we give up ourselves to help other people, and you're that person in this person's life, but instead of helping them, you're enabling them to stay stuck. And you've had to realize that that is a hard lesson, but it's one that is necessary for them to move forward on their life path. So you've had a lot of conflict there, but you've made it through it. You are on the right path now. You are moving with this wheel of fortune, and you are on your right path. You're on the journey. You've done what you were supposed to do to get through those period of times and to help that person not only out when they were in need, but help them to realize they got to quit taking advantage and take responsibility for their own success. And you've managed to do that. Now, trust in the process. No is a complete answer. It's a complete sentence and it's a stable answer to give somebody. And you just got to hold on and know that you're doing the right thing. You're teaching them that wonderful lesson as you're moving forward, because you are a foundation of strength with this Four of Swords. You have fought that battle, and now it's time to reflect. How have I done in this journey? And realize that in your reflection, you help them out when they were in the need, then you enabled them too long and helped carry them, and it's time to cut that string and allow them to fly on their own feet and take responsibility for themselves. Yes, you did the good thing. You were there when they needed it the most, but you overextended your responsibility for somebody, and you have to let people take responsibility. That's part of life lessons. You delivered that in that beautiful healing energy you have to that person of, I can no longer carry you. It is time for you to learn to carry yourself, and you've had to let go. So reflect on that. It's a good thing. It's not something you should feel bad about at all. That person's going to go through some obstacles. You can be supportive of them as they're going through them, but don't pick up the pieces for them. Don't be the seagull trying to always help them out. Let them run to the sea and live their own life and explore their new environment. They will make it through. I love these cards. If you don't, the devil will be back with their hand out, taking advantage again. So know that you did the right thing. The lesson is for that person that is being needy, and step two, manage to get on their own feet. It is the best help you can give a person is to make them take responsibility for their own actions, no matter how hard the struggle is. We've all gone through that in life, and it's part of growing up, and it's part of taking responsibility as adults. So by not enabling them, but having them take responsibility and empowering themselves to move forward in a positive way, it is the ultimate lessons they will learn that will eventually teach the next generation. Next up is Trend Zone. Trend Zone. Glad you made it to the room. I'm glad I saw you, and everybody's like, hello. Okay. Yeah.
That look okay?
Are you going out
Yeah.
dancing? Yeah, you look okay. If you got a green shirt, it'd look better with those khaki
Not a
pants
green
and
shirt.
gray. We just did laundry. How do you not have a green shirt? Look in your closet. Wearing khaki with gray. Okay. Well, whatever. You guys saw me shuffle this deck, but it's funny because we have cards that have shown up in everybody's reading today. Well, except for one. Okay, the underlying card of this reading is the Seven of Swords. This is you standing, rising above, standing in your strength, your power, your truth, standing above the crowd, taking charge of things. I don't know, this is a weird time for you, I think. You've been, you're running out there, you run into a few little obstacles here or there, but you're charging forward, you're making it to the ocean, you're living your life, you're avoiding that seagull. This is you taking action and strength power. This is that Knight of Wands. What?
How many green shirt I have?
That will look better with the khakis and the gray shirt. 69 years and he can't dress himself. Okay. Gray and khaki, not a good combination. Okay. This is you taking action. You're charging forward on your horse. Charge. Um, you know, you don't sit around waiting for things to come to you. You're always out there going forward in that fire energy. And, using your creativity, your knowledge, your strength as you're moving forward. We come into the reading with the inspiration of wands. That is that Queen of Wand energy. Like I said, it is that creative energy, that knowledge, that fire energy, the energy of ascension too, because in your flames you've got the butterflies helping you ascend in your strength, your knowledge, your power, as you're moving forward. This is your connection with the divine, and I love this. You get the oneness card followed by right in the center of the reading, the Hierophant. This is your connection with God, your connection with God, Spirit, um, your guides. You are very spiritual, connected, and you have very strong beliefs as you're moving forward. Stay in that beautiful energy, oneness with the divine, because the divine is there for you. He's got your back, and your guides are leading your path as you're moving forward. So I love these energies because It is followed by a tower moment. Um, Life isn't falling apart though. This is just things are shaking up a little bit. It's the economy. It's just the atmosphere right now. You've got a strong foundation. This is not you falling apart, you falling down or anything. You've got too much spiritual trust no around you, because it's also followed by the inspiration of pentacles, which is also your knowledge, your energy, your light, your ability to stay financially stable. So this is just, I think it's you reflecting on where the world is right now, where the economy is. You're feeling the impacts just like the rest of us, but you're secure in yourself. You're secure in your faith. You're secure in your day-to-day life. You have a really great foundation, and it's hard to watch the world shake and tremble around us. And you have the advantage of you are a single person. You have the ability to take really good care of yourself. You've got the nest eggs, the investments, the security around you. You know that you're on a stable ground as you watch the world around you shaking. I think this is a tower of the economy right now. This is the feel of the atmosphere around you. But with your faith, your strength, your devotion, you're in a great place, because it is all around you. And this inspiration of pentacles is your education, the way you use your language, your ideas, your trust in that faith and everything around you. It's just a reinforcement of you are in a great place. Yes, these are hard times for everybody right now. It's a realization that you're aware of that. You're not doubting and, oh, I'm doing so well, everybody. You're not that person, but you are faithful, and God is around you, and spirit is around you, helping guide you through this period of time. I think you're giving a lot of strength and inspiration around people around you, seeing you walking in that beautiful, wonderful energy that you carry, not only across the internet when I'm reading for you, but around everybody around you. And it is an inspiration. It brings light and focus, and knowing that any advice that you have to give somebody about making it through tough times, or anything you can do, I think you're that guy that in the right circumstances, not on demand, but in the right circumstances, you'd help anybody out there. You'd take your shirt off and give it to them if they needed a shirt. You're just that kind of guy. You walk in that energy and in that faith, in that strength, and keep being you, because your energy is beautiful. And of course, you're surrounded by your faith and spirit, and you're being guided through this lifetime. Nothing bad to say. Even a tarot card showing if you're in your reading is not the world falling apart. No, it is reminding you the world is falling apart, but your world isn't. You've got that great foundation. You've got your faith, your strength, and all that beautiful energy you walk in. And you're out there helping people every day of your life. I think you're just that guy that does that. So blessings to you, turns on. I'm so glad you made it into the room. Is there anybody in the room that I have missed? Because I am me. It's storming in your region. I love a good storm. I don't know about you, but that thunder and lightning and the rain. We had that come through the other day, right at the end of that hot streak. It wasn't even in the forecast. I'm sitting on the porch. It's white, puffy clouds everywhere and blue sky. And all of a sudden, I hear the thunder. It sounds like the God going bowling up in the heavens. And then boom, sheet lightning. And I'm like, oh no, last thing we need is a dry lightning storm, because that's how fires in my region start. And I live right on top of the Sierra Nevada mountains. So and Kings Canyon National Park. Oh, we really don't want to see a dry lightning storm come through and start wildfires, because that's how they start in the West Coast, all up and down the West Coast, in the mountain areas, in the forest areas. So I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden, I don't know where the rain came, but we're not talking little sprinkles. I'm trying to rain like we used to get in California. I'm talking about big, blocky downpour rain. No gray clouds in the sky whatsoever, so I'm not sure where this rain was coming from. butted down for about 10 minutes straight. And then it brought in the cool weather to follow the next few days after that. And we're back into the 80s. So I always love a good storm. I'm really looking forward to moving to Jersey because every time I'm back there, there's always at least several storms coming through. The thunder, the lightning, the exciting ones. I'm that idiot that will go sit out in the rainstorm and watch the lightning because I grew up in Oregon and we always did that. We'd go out to the park and lay on in the park in the grass, in the wet grass, and watch the thunder and lightning storms go over. Really safe thing to do in the middle of a wooded park that has timber stands all around you because lightning does strike timber. But we never got hurt. Always did it. And I love a good storm. I'm that strange person. I'm not afraid of lightning and stuff like that. I've never been struck though. So, anyways, I like it. It's like exciting weather. Of course, I'm a Pisces. It's water, so got to be out in it. It just makes my hair curly. So, anyways, yeah. And my hair getting long. It's just growing out like crazy. I went out and I hadn't seen Kathleen for about 3 weeks. And she goes, "What are you using on your hair that's making it grow so fast?" She goes, "God, it's getting long. It's getting really pretty." And I'm like, "Nothing." I said, "I wash it every second or third day. And I use all natural shampoo that I buy that doesn't have any chemicals in it. It's a rice and ginger shampoo. I ordered online in bars on Amazon, and then I order shea butter that's made in Africa. That is just pure shea butter and some kind of nut back there, and it's coming from a tribe in Africa that women are known to have the most beautiful hair in their region. And I absolutely love that shea butter. It keeps anybody that has curly hair um, knows that your hair gets really dry, really brittle, and I don't know why, but it does. And that shea butter is all natural, and it absorbs in and moisturizes and conditions without clogging your pores or anything. I just love it, and I get it on Amazon, and it's like $12 a jar. The jar lasts for I don't know 3 to 6 months, forever. I buy a couple a year, and I just love it. And the neat thing about it, it's a pure natural. You can use it as body lotion. A lot of good quality body lotions will have shea butter in it. So I use it all over. I don't just use it on my hair. I use it on my skin and everything. It keeps me from being dry and ashy. So yeah, it's a great product. But that's all I use. And yeah, I don't use all the different things that they tell you to use. It's just I've been using that for years. So the bar shampoo has no phosphorus, no chemicals, and it's all naturally made. It's made out of a rice-based product with ginger and natural oils, and it's just. And then I use the shea butter, and my hair has been in great condition. It's soft. It doesn't get brittle and dry. I don't get split ends really bad. And so yeah, and I just trim my hair regularly, just a little bit, just to keep any dry ends off or anything. So it just allows it to grow. And I'm trying to grow it out long. My grandson is 5 years old, has his hair was down to his waist. My daughter cut 6 inches off. It's about to the end of his shoulder blades right now. Um, but he's got he looks just like me, and he's got curly hair. And I always remembered how my hair was. He's got curly hair like mine. His is softer, bouncier waves. But um, I just remembered his hair is so beautiful. I remembered having long hair, and I thought I need to grow my hair back. And I'm moving to cold country anyway, so it's time to get out of the easy short haircut and grow it out so when next warm and all that. It's a bit hot in the summer. I said if I can make it through the summer without chopping it off short, um, then it'll get down to the middle of my back by this time next year. And then once I get it that long, I won't cut it for a while. I can wear it for several years that way. So it's fun. And anyways, I'm amazed at how fast it's growing because which means I guess I'm pretty healthy right now because usually when I'm really sick, I start losing my hair, not growing my hair. So yeah, I've been having problems with my pancreatitis off and on. I think it's just the stress and the bending and picking up heavy things, and it's your pancreas is under your liver, and so it's an easy organ to. It's a very sensitive organ, and it swells and inflames, and then it flares up. And if I eat any beef or things like that that agitate it, I have a really hard time processing meat. I have to take enzymes to digest meat. And that's why I'm vegetarian mostly. I do eat a lot of fish because fish is very easy to digest. Fish is not meat, so your body treats it very differently. So I live on a lot of fish, and I do eat some chicken. I tend to try to chop it up, and it's easier to digest. My body doesn't have to work at breaking that meat up. But yeah, so I've lived this way for 20 years, and hopefully I keep on living and don't have problems with it. Anyways, so I've been having a few problems off and on, and and when I go down hard, and then but I pop back pretty fast. It's usually 2 or 3 days. Got to get my electrolytes back up because it causes the vomiting, other problems on the other end, vomiting from both ends. But as long as I get my electrolytes kept balanced, and I'm lucky I have antibiotics right now because it usually comes with a little bit of infection. I took a round of antibiotics. My doctor keeps me supplied, and take the enzymes, take the medication that calms my stomach down and doesn't cause the ulceration stuff. Um, I get through it pretty fast. And of course, I can't eat anything for about 3 or 4 days. I gotta let my organs calm down and the swelling to come down. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm slowly plowing through this house, trying to get on the market before I leave town. I think we're gonna get there. Fingers crossed. Some prayers for me to get it, have the energy and the strength, and my husband, both of us, to have the energy and strength to get through that, so that we can get the house on the market and get it sold, because our house is still waiting for us. It hasn't sold. It's dropped down another $5,000. I was willing to pay the last offer, but I told Chris, if I wait long enough, maybe they'll pay me to buy it. No, I know. But this is buying season right now, and it is a competitive market, so I need to get everything done so I can get it on the market and get relocated closer to my daughter. I'm really looking forward to this move. I have never lived as an adult, or I left the East Coast when I was 18 months old. I was born in Washington, D.C. So I'm looking forward to living on that side of the world. It's very different than I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and from San Diego all the way up to northeastern Washington. So I've lived the whole West Coast, and grew up also in Canada and things like that. The West Coast is wonderful, but I'm looking for the culture difference. It is very different on the East Coast than it is the West Coast. So I'm looking forward to relocating and learning about people on that end of the world. And there's a lot of cultural differences, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a learning opportunity, but life is a learning opportunity. So I think it'll be a really good move for us. And of course, being close to my grandchildren, my family, is really important. So, and my sister's actually, my sister and nephew, her son, are talking about moving to the Midwest, into Illinois. I don't know why. The only family we had there moved back to Idaho, so I have no idea why they're looking in the Illinois, sort of the outskirts of Chicago. I know property's really expensive out there, but they are moving to California, so it's comparable if they get far enough away from the city and into the smaller towns and the burbs. So who knows? And he's wanting to hit the university, so maybe he's thinking about going to university out there. I don't know. He's working on his. He works with. He's working on a psychology degree, and he works with mentally disabled adult, high functioning adults, and does job training and counseling with them right now. So, and he loves what he does. He's just a big old teddy bear. He's 6'4", and he's just a big guy. He's just cuddly and calm, and everybody loves him. So, I think he's doing the right thing. So, we'll see if they make it out that far. At least it'll be close enough that we can see each other much easier. I guess she'll be flying out of O'Hare. I didn't like flying through O'Hare. The airport is, but it's big. And of course, coming from California, if I fly, I end up there on the red eye coming in the middle of the night, and there's a 4 to 6 hour layover before the morning flights start going out, and yeah. So, anyways, I love you all. I will be back on tomorrow, and I'll be on time tomorrow. And we will be doing oracle readings tomorrow and a few cards if you want me to run a few cards. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather. I hope everybody's having decent weather, even if it's rain in the summer. Love rainstorms in the summer. Be safe though if it's lightning. But enjoy the weather in your area. Hopefully nobody's in the high hundreds and suffering through that. I know Snow Wolf is probably, because he lives in Arizona. They get really hot there in the summer. But hope everybody is enjoying the summer and the weekend. And I will see you back tomorrow. Brenda, give me a call if for any reason you need me to step in. I feel like Anne's going to be fine. But if you want me to join you, call me. I get up early, so text me. If you don't hear back from me right away, I didn't quite wake up yet, give me a buzz. And I'll answer the phone. I have my phone with me all the time. So if you want to read together, and anyways, I will see everybody tomorrow. I'll see you in Brenda's room tomorrow. She's on 11 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock her time, or 2 o'clock her time. Her and Anne. Go over and join her tomorrow over there, and I will see everybody tomorrow here at 3 o'clock Pacific time, 4, 5, 6 Eastern time. Whatever time zone you're in. Okay, I love y'all. Have a good evening. Goodbye.